Imagine rocks that move on their own, leaving trails behind them in the desert sand. This is not a scene from a science fiction novel, but a real-life enigma that has been baffling observers for over a century. We're talking about living rocks, stones, that seem to defy the laws of physics by moving and growing, without any apparent cause or intervention. The first recorded observations of these mysterious moving rocks date back to the early 20th century. Early explorers venturing into the desolate expanses of desert landscapes began to notice something peculiar. Trails etched into the sand, snaking behind large, hefty stones. These trails suggested movement, but the sheer weight of these stones made the idea of them moving on their own seem impossible. The observers were flummoxed. These were not small pebbles that could easily be swept up by the wind, but substantial rocks, some as heavy as a grown man. The question arose, how could these rocks move without any visible force propelling them? As word of this phenomenon spread, the mystery deepened. Theories began to form, each more bewildering than the last. Could the rocks be moved by animals or by some unseen geological force? Perhaps there was a magnetic field at play, or maybe the desert heat was causing some sort of mirage effect. No matter the speculation, one fact remained clear. These rocks were moving, and no one could quite explain why. It was a puzzle that would continue to perplex scientists and enthusiasts for the next several decades. A riddle, etched in stone and sand, waiting for someone to solve. Yet, as the sun set over the desert, casting long shadows over the trails left by the moving rocks, one could not help but feel a sense of awe. Here was a mystery of nature, as fascinating as it was unresolved, a testament to the wonders of our world that remain to be explored. This mystery would captivate scientists and mystery enthusiasts alike for the next several decades. And so our journey into the enigma of the living rocks begins. As the curiosity grew, so did the theories. The inexplicable movement of these stones captured the imagination of many, leading to a flurry of hypotheses attempting to explain this baffling phenomenon. One of the initial theories proposed was that of magnetic fields. Some speculated that these rocks, possibly containing magnetic minerals, were being influenced by the Earth's own magnetic field. Scientists eagerly took to the task, testing the rocks for magnetic properties and monitoring the Earth's magnetic field. Despite their best efforts, this theory was ultimately disproved. The rocks showed no significant magnetic properties, and there was no correlation between the Earth's magnetic field and the movements of the stones. Another theory that gained traction was the idea that strong winds, perhaps during particularly violent storms, were responsible for the rock's movement. Researchers meticulously monitored weather conditions, correlating wind speeds and directions with the paths of the stones. Yet, once again, the data did not support the theory. The stones moved in ways that were non-directional and inconsistent with wind patterns. Perhaps the most intriguing theory was the suggestion of extraterrestrial involvement. Some proposed that these living rocks were the result of alien activity, a sign of otherworldly beings trying to communicate with us. While this theory sparked much excitement and intrigue, it too was tested and found wanting. Despite numerous observations and investigations, there was no evidence to suggest any extraterrestrial involvement. With each theory that came to light, scientists meticulously set about testing its validity, only to find themselves back at square one. Each debunked hypothesis only seemed to deepen the enigma surrounding these moving rocks. It was as if the stones themselves were stubbornly guarding their secret, refusing to yield to the curiosity of mankind. The mystery of the moving rocks seemed to deepen with every failed theory. It was becoming increasingly clear that the solution to this riddle was not going to be found in conventional wisdom. The rocks continued their inexplicable journey, silently challenging anyone daring enough to decode their mystery. In the heart of Death Valley National Park lies a dry lake bed known as the Racetrack. This eerie, desolate place is the stage for one of nature's most baffling performances, the mysterious dance of the moving stones. This phenomenon, unique to the racetrack, has puzzled scientists and mystery enthusiasts alike for decades. The racetrack is a vast, flat expanse surrounded by mountains on all sides. It's a harsh, inhospitable environment devoid of vegetation where the sun blazes mercilessly by day and the temperature plummets at night. Yet it's this very starkness, this absence of life, that makes the racetrack the perfect theater for our enigmatic performers, the moving rocks. The rocks, often weighing several hundred pounds, leave tracks as they move across the lake bed, carving intricate patterns in the parched earth. These tracks, sometimes straight, sometimes curved, and often hundreds of feet long, bear silent testimony to the rock's inexplicable journeys. What's even more baffling is that the movement seems to occur independently of any visible force. There's no steep gradient to explain a roll downhill, and the wind, while often strong, is not nearly forceful enough to set these heavy stones in motion. Over the years, many theories have been proposed, from magnetic fields to alien intervention, but none have been able to fully explain this peculiar phenomenon. The only certainty is that the conditions at the racetrack are unique, a combination of factors that, in some unknown way, conspire to set these rocks in motion. The mystery of the moving rocks has drawn researchers from around the world, each hoping to crack the code. Their studies have yielded some clues, but the truth remains elusive. Each new piece of evidence seems only to deepen the enigma, adding to the allure of the racetrack. While the racetrack offered the most compelling evidence, it also deepened the enigma. In the winter of 2013, the puzzle of the moving rocks seemed to finally unravel. This was the moment when a team of curious scientists decided to tackle the mystery head-on, armed with the latest technology and an insatiable thirst for answers. The team consisted of researchers from various disciplines, united by a common goal: to decipher the enigma of the living rocks. They set out to the desolate landscape of Death Valley, the stage where the unusual phenomenon unfolded. Their primary tools? Time-lapse photography and GPS tracking devices. The scientists meticulously set up their equipment, attaching GPS trackers to several rocks, each chosen for its unique size, shape, and position. These trackers would record the rock's coordinates at regular intervals, thus providing a detailed map of their movements. Simultaneously, they also set up time-lapse cameras at strategic points around the area. These cameras would capture images at set intervals, allowing the scientists to visually document any changes in the landscape and the positions of the rocks. With the stage set, the scientists retreated, leaving their electronic sentinels to observe and record. They waited with bated breath, hoping their efforts would shed light on the seemingly supernatural phenomenon. Months passed, and then finally it was time to analyze the data. The GPS trackers revealed that the rocks had indeed moved. Some had traveled several hundred feet, while others had barely shifted. The time-lapse footage corroborated these findings, showing the rocks inching across the desert floor, seemingly of their own accord. But the most surprising revelation was yet to come. The footage showed that the rocks' movements weren't random. Instead, they followed a specific pattern, moving only under certain environmental conditions. This was a significant breakthrough, as it suggested the phenomenon wasn't supernatural, but rather a result of specific natural forces at work. The results were astonishing and would change our understanding of this phenomenon forever. With this experiment, the team had managed to pierce the veil of mystery that shrouded the moving rocks, taking a significant step towards unraveling the truth behind the living rocks. As it turns out, the answer to this puzzle was as simple as it was unexpected. Enter the ice shove theory, an elegant proposal that began to make sense of the enigmatic movements of these so-called living rocks. The ice shove theory was proposed by a team of astute researchers who ventured to the bleak landscapes where these rocks reside. Their observations led them to hypothesize that the movements of the rocks were not caused by an unseen force, but by a very visible and commonplace one: ice. Here's how it works. Under specific conditions, which include freezing temperatures and calm, clear skies, sheets of ice can form around the rocks. This formation occurs when the shallow water surrounding the rocks begins to freeze overnight. As the ice expands, it engulfs the rocks, effectively creating an icy encasement around them. Now you might be thinking, ice? Really? How can something as fragile as ice move these hefty rocks? Well, my friends, therein lies the genius of this theory. It's not merely the ice that's doing the heavy lifting, but rather the wind. When gusts of wind blow across the lake bed, they push against the ice sheets. Given that the rocks are encased within these sheets, they too are propelled along, sliding across the muddy surface of the lake bed. This theory elegantly accounts for the tracks left behind by the rocks. As the rocks slide along, they carve a path through the mud, creating the mysterious trails that had baffled observers for years. Of course, this theory relies on a delicate interplay of conditions. The temperature must be just right for the ice to form, yet not so cold that the lake bed freezes over entirely. The wind must blow strong enough to move the ice sheets, but not so strong as to shatter them. It's a finely balanced act of nature, as fascinating as it is bizarre. This elegant theory seemed to finally solve the mystery of the moving rocks. But as with all good mysteries, there are always more questions to be asked and more secrets to be unearthed. While the ice shove theory is widely accepted, there are still questions to be answered. At the heart of scientific inquiry lies a thirst for knowledge that refuses to be quenched. The ice shove theory, while compelling, has its fair share of detractors. Some critics point to the fact that not all sliding stones are found near bodies of water, a prerequisite for the theory to hold water, so to speak. Then there are those who question the strength of thin ice layers, doubting their ability to move rocks of significant weight. Others, on the other hand, wonder about the rocks that seem to grow on their own. The ice shove theory, while explaining the movement, says little about this peculiar growth phenomenon. These stones don't just slide, some appear to increase in size over time, a phenomenon that remains largely unexplained. Moreover, the ice shove theory is based on specific weather conditions, the presence of a wet surface followed by a quick freeze and then a light wind. But what about the stones that move in regions where these conditions are rare or non-existent? How does one explain their mysterious mobility? The ongoing interest in these moving rocks is a testament to our innate curiosity. Scientists continue to study these strange stones, hoping to unlock further secrets they may hold. New theories are being formulated, tested, and challenged as the scientific community strives to unravel the mystery completely. What's more, the mystery of the moving rocks serves as a reminder of how much we still have to learn about our own planet. It underscores the fact that Earth, our home, is a dynamic, ever-changing entity full of enigmas waiting to be solved. In the grand scheme of things, the movement of these rocks might seem insignificant, yet it's a puzzle that has fascinated and confounded scientists for decades. And as long as questions remain, the quest for answers will continue. Despite the breakthrough, the moving rocks remain a fascinating subject of study. So, do the rocks truly live? Well, not in the way we understand life. But that doesn't mean these stones don't have a story to tell, a life of their own, so to speak. They aren't just inanimate objects littering the landscape. They're subjects of deep mystery and intrigue, sparking scientific curiosity and inspiring the imagination. Imagine a stone, seemingly ordinary, but with the uncanny ability to move, to change, to grow. It's a concept that defies our understanding of the natural world, isn't it? Yet here they are, the living rocks. They don't breathe or reproduce, they don't eat or sleep, but they move. They dance across the deserts, leaving trails of their journey, as if to remind us of their existence, of their peculiar life, and what a life it is. Not confined to the limitations of biological life, these rocks have the freedom to reshape themselves, to move against the forces of nature, to grow in ways unimaginable. It's as if they've found a loophole in the laws of nature, a secret way to express their life, their existence. This is what makes them so captivating, so intriguing. It's not just about their movement or their growth. It's about their defiance, their audacity to challenge our understanding of the world, our perception of life. They stand as a testament to the mysteries of nature, to the secrets still waiting to be discovered, to the questions still waiting to be asked. So, do these rocks live? Well, not in the way we understand life, but in their own unique, mystifying way, they do. They live a life of change, of movement, of growth. They live a life of defiance, of mystery, of intrigue. And in doing so, they inspire us to question, to explore, to seek understanding in the face of the unknown. While the mystery of their movement may be largely solved, the living rocks continue to captivate us all. From a baffling mystery to a scientific curiosity, the moving rocks have taken us on a fascinating journey. Our expedition began with an unseen force, a phenomenon that sparked countless theories and led us down the rabbit hole of mystery. We've raced across the barren landscapes where rocks seemingly took on lives of their own, leaving trails of questions in their wake. We've witnessed breakthroughs, the illumination of understanding breaking through the dense fog of the unknown. The ice shove theory, a testament to the power of scientific investigation, provided us with tangible explanations, yet left room for further exploration and understanding. The journey of these living rocks reminds us of the importance of curiosity, of questioning the world around us, and the power of science to unveil the hidden secrets of nature. As we continue to explore our world, who knows what other mysteries await us?